Krishna's arrangement for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come to us and give us this message. But what you were saying about how like he's more merciful than Krishna, that kind of stumped me a little bit, because I thought that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was an incarnation, is an incarnation of Krishna, but and it goes both ways, like, because like Krishna's so great that he can have that kind of comprehension, but like I guess because we're so fallen, we can't completely comprehend that kind of,
know. So the question is, well, Krishna's God, he's the source of everything, and Mahaprabhu in a sense is an incarnation of him, and how can Mahaprabhu be more merciful than Krishna is himself? That doesn't make sense, because he is Krishna. So is that your question?
Yeah, kind of. It just like made me like, whoa, that's so amazing.
So how do we make? Yes, that's one thing. It is amazing. It is very amazing. It says Karuna Avataro, that Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, they're an incarnation of mercy. So let's say Krishna has many qualities, and the quality takes one specific form and fills up a whole body of the quality of mercy. That's Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So their special function, their special one dimension, but the one we're speaking about now, they're special. The whole purpose for their existence is just for mercy. It's just to be merciful, like that. So therefore, they consider to be more merciful than Krishna. It also says Krishna and his name are non-different, but his name is more merciful than Krishna, because when we can chant Krishna's name now, but Krishna may or may not come. Now we can't do that. So Krishna's name will give us bhakti for Krishna, but Krishna himself, he may or may not give bhakti for him. So it's also said that his name is more merciful than Krishna. But to answer the question in a more logical way, is that there's different points of view in approaching scripture and shastra. One thing is Tattva-Siddhanta, philosophically. And philosophically we know that Krishna is Shaktiman, he is the source of everything. Everything is originated and exists within inside him. So from that angle of vision, well, no, Mahaprabhu can't be merciful to Krishna, neither can Srimati Radhika, neither can anyone, because they're all coming from him. But from the point of view of Rasa Siddhanta, Rasa Vichara, or understanding that there's different qualities of incarnations, and they have specific functions, and in a sense a more subjective reality than an objective reality. Our subjective reality is more important than the objective reality, because what's Krishna to us, what's the relationship, is more important. So in that subjective sense, which is prominent in Vedic thought and in the Vedic approach, is if Krishna is here, it's not as good as if Mahaprabhu was here. So in that sense, Mahaprabhu is more merciful than Krishna. I'd rather have the association of Guru and Vaishnava, because they'll take me and give me bhakti, they'll teach me how to serve, but Krishna, he won't. Another angle of vision of seeing the same thing is Krishna, as God, what he's doing in the form of Krishna is being the enjoyer. He's being there and receiving all the love, receiving bhakti, so to say. Now Mahaprabhu, he's having the mood of ashray, or the enjoyed, or the servant. Vaishnavas have the mood of the servant. So what we want is we want to be able to serve Krishna. So if we want to learn how to serve Krishna, you've got to learn from someone who knows how to serve Krishna. Krishna doesn't know how to serve him. He's like, I just know how to eat the laddu. I don't know how to cook the laddu. He doesn't know how to do that. But if we want to learn how to cook the laddu for Krishna, if we want to learn how to serve, then we need to associate with those who are doing that, which are the devotees, those who are in the mood of ashray. So that's associated with the Vaishnavas, and also with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because another way of saying the same thing is, like we were saying before, there's that love. Mahaprabhu, Krishna is like, oh my gosh, Srimati Radhika is loving me so much that she's feeling so happy. The service that she's doing, she's getting something that I don't understand. So he's coming in the form of Mahaprabhu to learn how to do that service, to get what that is. And that service is what we want. So in his form as Krishna, he can't give it to us. He doesn't know what it is. Now, from philosophically speaking, he's God and he's the source of all knowledge and he's the Adisachi Devata of the Chitra. We know that, but that's not our subjective reality. That's not where the rasa is, not where the sweetness is, and it's not the relationship. Like we said, we don't want Krishna outside of Vrindavan, so it's in the matter of relationship that we have. So according to relationship, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, much more merciful than Krishna. And if you look at it from like an ultimate godly perspective, there's all the qualities, all the different types of happiness that are there. God manifests a separate form for each one. So when God wants to be really ferocious, he becomes Shringadev, and he goes and tears everyone apart, scares all the universe, and that. So then you could say, who's more scary, Nrsimhadev or Krishna? Well, Krishna is beautiful. He plays the flute. He's in Vrindavan. He's there's flowers everywhere. He's not very scary. He's not very scary. But Nrsimhadev came from Krishna. But from the subjective reality, from the point of view of rasa, when Krishna wants to be scary, he manifests in the form of Nrsimhadev. So we can say Nrsimhadev is more scary than Krishna, even though the existence of Nrsimhadev is only because of the existence of Krishna. That's there. So when Krishna wants to be really merciful, then he manifests as Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And that they are the mercy incarnations. That's there. Does that answer the question? Kind of?
Yeah. I see that's where our main focus should be.
Yeah. There's no such thing as objective reality. It's all subjective. Because the all is subject of who's viewing the reality. So it's all point of view of rasa, all point of view of relationship, and bhakti is all about that. If you want to negate the fact that you're part of the equation, that actually in quantum physics, I hear they have a whole that because of the existence of the observer, it actually changes the reality. But if you want to negate that, then there's no point in the reality. There's no point to it, and it's actually not possible. That leads us to the path of impersonalism, of mukti. If you just want to negate the fact of my relationship and negate the fact of who I am and the relationship with God, then we end our existence, and then that's boring. It's true. Is it? Because there's gyan and there's so many ways of saying the same thing in so many different languages. But there's gyan and vigyan. Gyan means intellectual knowledge. So you can read it in the book, you can understand it in your mind. Vigyan means that's a reality for you. That's a realization. So gyan, I can study a mango, I can study its chemical composition and the acids and the juices flowing and the sugars and this and that. And I can know all about the mango. But in the Vedas they say that knowledge is useless. What's the point? But when I eat the mango, oh, now I know what a mango is. That's realized knowledge. So in the same way with understanding God, there's like we say, well, he's the origin and he's the this and that, and try to understand things objectively. That's just gyan, useless. Give up the attempt for that. It says in Vedic scriptures. But what we want is vigyan, to have a realized relationship. Oh, Krishna, that's what he is. We'll touch him. We'll have that relationship, have that. Oh, that's what bhakti is. Instead of just playing the mental game, but it's actually a path, something that we experience. And that's the whole point of the intellectual knowledge, is just to satisfy our mind and pacify us, for us to be able to understand the subjective relationship. In other words, we perform sadhana, we do spiritual practices to create a relationship, and that's what counts. Now someone will say, well, why should I do that? Oh, because Krishna is God, and you're okay. So there's the philosophical conception, we understand it, and that has us do the sadhana and create that subjective relationship. It has us create the subjective relationship, but the subjective relationship is what the goal is. The matter of fact is, all of reality is much more beyond our intellect. We can spend here our whole lives trying to speak and analyze reality, but maybe not understand one atom properly. So if we're going to understand the whole universe and God and everything, because our senses are wrong, the fact is that they're faulty. The fact is our concept is going to be wrong. So if we have a understanding of Krishna, this is God, this is the way it is, and have an objective view of reality, it's still wrong. Because our brains are too small to be able to understand the real reality. But we may not understand how it's wrong, and we understand it enough to keep us on the path so that we can realize it. And then later, actually this happens in the process of bhakti. At first it's really simple. You're with God, you forgot him, get back. Okay. And then after a while, what about this? If I was with him, how is he going to come here? And then all these other questions come, and then there's another philosophy that's given. Okay, that's good. Then we're on the path. And then as we advance, in a sense, our capacity for knowing also increases, and our depth of understanding also increases, then questions come. And then we enter into newer, higher realms of understanding of reality that are there. But still some faulty. Till we can eat the mango. Till we're in Vrindavan with Krishna.
Eating the mangoes.
Eating the mangoes, yeah. Then still our intellect will have some faults. That's the subjective relationship is what counts. So the truth is, we need to eat mangoes.
I have sort of a follow-up question to that. Seems to me to relate to the idea of Krishna being omniscient, and then there's this idea of yoga maya that so that he can forget his own Godhead and omniscience. Could you explain how Yogamaya works in terms of Krishna being the source of everything, including Yogamaya, but then Yogamaya can make him forget that he's Bhagavan?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see how to say this simply. Krishna is desire. He's the possessor of power. Who he exists is he has desires. Now the ability to be able to carry out those desires, in one sense of being, is not Krishna. He can't do that. He's like, I want this, but he can't do anything about it. It's like a little baby. I want to eat, but someone has to come and feed him. The ability to be able to fulfill those desires exists in Shakti. Now we know philosophically that Shakti and Shaktiman, the potency and the possessor of potency, are non-different. Just like fire and heat are inseparable. Fire and light, fire and heat are inseparable. But or fire and flames is actually what it says in the Vedic scriptures. But actually they're two separate things. So the potency and the possessor of potency, okay, they're one, they all exist in that one reality. But in this context, we've got Krishna who's the desire, and then there's Shakti whose existence, the Purna Shakti, which is coming from Srimati Radhika. Their job is to make everything to fulfill those desires, which in this case is separate. So Yogamaya is a manifestation of Srimati Radhika, is a manifestation of Shakti, and makes all the universes, makes everything, and so much that it even bewilders the mind of Krishna to be able to fulfill his desires. And that's there. Our problem. And Krishna thinks he's just a little baby, and he is just a little baby. It's real. Subjective reality is more important than objective reality. And he's completely bewildered by yoga, and he has different desires than Yogamaya and Srimati Radhika. They do different arrangements to make different desires be able to be fulfilled. Now, looking from the point of tattva, from the point of oneness, then Radha and Krishna are inseparable. But then we won't say Krishna is God, then Radha and Krishna are God. Then there's that one. And actually that's all of reality. We were explaining that last week, how there's the oneness and the difference and the oneness and the difference and the oneness, and it keeps on going in a circle all the time. That's there. So when there's the difference, then Krishna can't do anything. It's all done by Shakti. And when there's the oneness, then he manifests Shakti to be able to do everything. That's there. Yeah. So, in another language of saying the same thing, love or bhakti is, bhakti is more powerful than God. God can be bound by bhakti. So that's why he's also bound by Yogamaya. No control, no power. Because love is more powerful. In other words, Shakti is more powerful. You can just desire, the power to be able to execute that desire is more powerful. Krishna can't hit the mosquito. He can't scratch himself. He needs Shakti to be able to do that, energy. So Shakti is more powerful. You can just say, I want to scratch myself, or I want whatever. Answer the question?
Yeah, and I'm also wondering about how the Shakti Tattva manifest in terms of Srimati Radhika as the original Shakti. Then there's Yogamaya and Vrinda Devi who facilitate the Vraj Leelas. But are they manifestations of Srimati Radhika now? I mean, how does that work?
They're manifestations. Also, all the gopis are manifestations of Srimati Radhika. Even Chandravalli, even the enemy gopis, the enemy camp, all the Mahishis in all the wives of Krishna are all manifestations of Srimati, technically speaking.
Because like there's the Chaturvyuha and all the explanations of the Krishna. Is there a similar scheme for the Shakti?
I don't know, but I would like to look into that. It's a good question.
It's kept more hidden now.
Yeah. Just for some context to that question, there's explanation. There's Krishna, then from Krishna comes Baladev, then from Baladev comes Mahashankarshan, then comes Mulshankarshan, then Mahashankarshan, and then from Mahashankarshan comes the Chaturvyuha, the four Pradyumna Niruddha, and then they manifest, and then it comes Mahavishnu. So it's very who becomes who, when, the order, the hierarchy is very well described in Shastra. So his question is, okay, it's all coming from Srimati Radhika, but is there that same kind of description from Srimati Radhika, then Yogamaya, then Vrinda Devi, then the gopis, and this? And the answer is I don't know. Maybe, I hope so. Let's look into it, probably. But I don't know.
Yes, a little bit, because there is Ladini, Sandini, and Sambit.
Yes.
Or also there is eternity, wisdom, and knowledge and bliss. Then
Oh, yeah.
Krishna is knowledge. Baladev is
Existence.
eternity, existence, and then Radharani is Ananta,
Ananta
bliss.
bliss.
So the they explain in the material world, they actually, the three of them are also manifested. So Krishna is also there, Radharani is also there, and Balaram is also there. But they turn into, material knowledge, and time, and the pleasure. What you see in this world.
It just reminded me of something else. That you were referring to last week. You're talking about the Chinta Beta Beta, the three, and that reminds me of there's always the three categories, the three gunas and the three shaktis and everything. So
The Trinity.
yeah. But so it seemed like you were finding a way to extrapolate the Chinta Beta Beta into our entire philosophy, perhaps.
Yeah. But also the three energies exist within everything also. That's there. One thing that just to mess with the Western mind, which is really fun, is when we speak about the glories of Srimati Radhika or Shakti, we explain how the universe, everything is a manifestation from Srimati Radhika. And then when we speak about the glories of Baladev Prabhu, we say how everything is a manifestation of Baladev Prabhu. So I asked Shamarani Didi, I said, is everything a manifestation of Srimati Radhika or everything a manifestation of Baladev Prabhu? And she said, depends on whose appearance day it is. What's her answer?
So that's back to the subjective thing.
And that's the thing, is these things are really beyond our intellectualization. It's just enough to keep us going and create the realization they're both true. But there's still, see, there's that simultaneous oneness and difference, but the first word's achintya, means it's inconceivable. It's beyond our material faculty. But still, at the same time, Siddhanta Balesikti Nakura Alas, don't be lazy in learning philosophy. It says in the scriptures, we're going to learn as much as we can. Anyway. Okay. Anything else? Or prasadam? I'm kind of hungry.
Taking prasadam
And Haridas is
and then maybe
Haridas.
resting too,
Haridas.
sleeping some
Yeah.
one of these days.
Think about things kids do what everyone wants to do,
Everything the show is going to do, every minute, is kind of boring. There'd be no surprise. There'd be no relationship. You already know everything. You're like,
Jai.
And then not a couple people talk about
Jadvani?
Oh, I shall bring
Just a
some
quick one.
plates then.
We'll see.
Awesome.
I wish probably should.
To bring the Kijai.